British Petroleum, Halliburton, knew well cement was unstable. BP and cement contractor Halliburton knew weeks before the Deepwater Horizon explosion that the cement mixture they planned to use to seal the new well was unstable, but still completed the work. Staff for the Presidential Commission investigating the accident said in a letter that improper cement work may have contributed to the blowout on April 20th that killed 11 workers and led to the largest offshore oil spill in history. The staff stated in the first official finding of responsibility for the disaster. Other factors have also been cited as possibly contributing to the explosion, among them a faulty blowout preventer and BP's decisions to use fewer stability rings on the well piping and seawater instead of heavier mud to plug the well until it was to be used for production. The staff noted, however, that had the cement done its job, it would have prevented hydrocarbons from entering the well and triggering the explosion. The commission staff said that Halliburton and BP both had results in March showing that a very similar foam slurry design to the one actually pumped at the Macondo well would be unstable, but neither acted upon that data. So again, in other words, it was about saving money and throwing safety first to the wind. Commission staff also cited Transocean, the owner of the drilling rig, as sharing some of the blame. The oil industry has developed tests, such as the negative pressure test and cement evaluation logs, to identify cementing failures, the team said. But BP and or Transocean personnel misinterpreted or chose not to conduct such tests at the Macondo well. The letter also stated that independent testing of the type of cement used by Halliburton showed it was not stable. Halliburton and perhaps BP should have considered redesigning the foam mixture before pumping it at the Macondo well, the investigators added. BP, as part of its own internal investigation, also conducted tests that showed the cement mix was flawed, but its analysis was criticized by Halliburton, which said it was not the correct formula. A spokeswoman for Halliburton said the company was reviewing the findings and would have a response later. Halliburton has said tests showed the cement mix was stable. The staff letter said the first 3 of 4 cement tests by Halliburton showed that it did not meet industry standards. 2 of those tests were conducted in February and 2 more in April. The staff said the results from one February test were sent to BP on March 8th in a technical report along with other information. There is no indication that Halliburton highlighted to BP the significance of the foam stability data or that BP personnel raised any questions about it. There is no indication that Halliburton provided the data from the other February test to BP. For the last test, the staff wrote, Halliburton personnel again modified the testing procedure, and this time, for the first time, the data indicated the foam slurry design would be stable. We are not yet certain when Halliburton reported this data internally or whether the test was even complete prior to the time the cement job was poured at the Macondo well. Halliburton reported this data to BP after the blowout. And, of course, a BP spokesman had no immediate reaction. So again, in conclusion, this was about saving money and ignoring safety first. Yes, throwing caution to the wind. And these are more signs of the times. Deepwater Horizon oil spill is a continuing, rolling disaster. In other words, it will be going on for many years to come. There is still oil on the seabed, some oil still in the water, and oil continues to wash ashore in a number of places. Then there is also oil on the beaches, under the sand, and hydrocarbons or methane hydrates, and perhaps natural gas and oil is still seeping up from the seafloor all around the blown out whale. Revelation chapter 7. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. 3. Saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, until we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Revelation chapter 8, verse 8. And the second angel sounded, and as it were, a great mountain, burning with fire, was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became as blood. 9. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. 10. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. 11. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many humans died of the waters, because they were made bitter. 12. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. 13. And I beheld, and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the 3 angels, which are yet to sound. Revelation chapter 16, verse 3. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. 4. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became as blood. 5. And I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which are and was and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. 6. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. 7. And I heard another out of the altar say, Even so, Lord, God Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. 8. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch humans with fire. 9. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which has power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. 10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. 11. And blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And these are more signs of the end times transition days, which is a process. All systems that must change quickly or rapidly, and for the better. Because again, it's about what kind of world are we leaving to the future generations. And there are many kinds of signs happening day by day all around the world.